Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greetings everyone to our eventful forum in this evening. Firstly, we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Muhammad Fakurazi bin Muhammad Farid. I am a president of Student Technology Movement.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I greet to all. My name is Muhammad Safwan bin Muhammad Razali. I am a Deputy Director of Student Affairs of UiTM Kelantan branch.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Farhan bin Izam and I am a lecturer from Faculty of Information Management UiTM Cawangan Kelantan and
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Ayuni binti Mazmi. I am a student from Faculty Information Management UiTM Machang.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm as a Student Representative Council of UiTM Kelantan branch.
Thank you very much for all the panelists. Before we start our forum, I would like to point out several ground rules. The first rule is the first session will start with Safwan, Farhan, Ayuni and Nadia. In the first session, any interruption is not allowed. The second rule is we will have the second session. In the second session, we will argue about our points and we will decide which points are solid and clear. And the next rule is please raise up your hand if you would like to interrupt in any arguments that we have been facing. Thank you very much. And next, I will give it to Muhammad Safwan.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. For our forum today, we would like to discuss about the ODL, which is it good for student or not? Did we agree or not in doing this ODL? So, coronavirus disease, which is COVID-19, is an infectious disease triggered by a new virus outbreak from Wuhan, China. The COVID-19 has been spreading rapidly across the global, overreaching health service and intensified with the shelter confinement. COVID-19 outbreak in Malaysia early 2020 reported day-by-day positive carrier statistic increasing that forced movement action to impose movement control order, which is MCO. Malaysians stay at home to stop the virus from spreading fast. The MCO affect all the education system who are just starting a new semester in the week 4 to stay at home, but learning activities continue using online distance method. So, what is the online distance learning? ODL, known as online distance education, e-learning, blended learning, interactive learning, or virtual learning is a form of education in which the key practice include physical separation of lecturers and students and use of various online applications innovate to facilitate interactive communication between lecturers and students. Students and institutions embrace distance learning with a good reason. Universities benefit by adding students without having to construct classroom and housing, and students reap the advantages of being able to work where and when they choose. Basically, ODL practice flexible learning activities to enhance access to education for the society, flexible learning for disabled or unhealthy people, and rarely grab researcher attention is to examine the conduct of ODL during pandemic disease, where the approach is not same to ODL program enrolled by students. The early year of 2020, Malaysians shocked with the attack of coronavirus known as COVID-19 and seriousness level forced to government action to apply for movement control order. This order is based on Prevention and Control of Infectious Disease Act 1988 and the Police Act 1967, where most of the Malaysians subject to home quarantine for 14 days. Sudden command by government spark fear and panic situation that directly affect the education system. All education centers such as school, college and university ordered to stop the operation immediately. As for the higher learning education system, they are allowed to go back home. All teaching and learning activities hold until next order given by the government. As a result, fear and panic infected among teachers and lecturers how to complete the syllabus, and the most relevant method are ODL. Being an educators, they are facing multiple issues in conducting ODL, such as little exposure to set up the platform, such as Google Meeting, Telegram, or Google Classroom, and many more. Concerning student participation, limited assessment method to measure course learning outcome, and less experience to develop e-content. Besides, educators are concerned about device and internet access among students to join ODL sessions. Technical issues facing by students to join ODL activities such as do not have email to sign up a new account. Can students explore how to use tool in the platform? Do they know how to search the assessment uploaded? Basically, trigger another panic among educators. Besides educators, student anxiety to join the ODL activities must take into consideration. Before planning ODL activities, educators need to analyze about internet access, connection, and ability to use computer that develop anxiety, especially students in a sub-rural and rural area. The student be able to complete the task listed in ODL activities independently without physical discussion with friends and lecturers. Student motivations to complete study while facing interruption and difficulties at home. Potential factors mentioned suggested significantly affect student online learning, readiness, and academic performance. So, I would like to give for the Mr. Fakrul to give us more knowledge about the ODL. What is the advantages or disadvantages of this ODL nowadays in our era right now?
Thank you very much to Mr. Safwan. First of all, I am agree with the implementation of online and distance learning, or also we known as ODL. The first one, my point is, uh, an implementation of ODL can be result to implement to Industrial Revolution 4.0. So, what is Industrial Revolution 4.0? IR 4.0 was introduced in 2011 by German government promoting to computerize of manufacture. So on 31st October 2018, the seventh Prime Minister of Malaysia, Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, has launched IR4WRD, which is which is a continuous from IR 4.0, and since then, Malaysia has been gearing up to move forward to implement IR 4.0. The next one is, I would like to point out what is the benefit of online and distance learning with the implementation of IR 4.0. As we know, many students in Malaysia, especially, we do not being exposed full enough with online learning. This is a fact that we have to accept in our country. And as COVID-19 has hit Malaysia, not only Malaysia, but other countries, it has given a space. It has given a space to implement online and distance learning to give students an experience and opportunity to study in online learning. I quoted, according to UITM, according to UITM and Institute of Continuing Education and Professional Studies Chief Executive Officer, Professor Dr. Azizul Halim Yahya. He is a man. He is a leading figure that establishing online and distance learning in UITM. He said that online and distance learning ODL is preparing two methods in ODL. The first one is asynchronous, which is without real-time interaction, and synchronous, a real-time interaction. For without real-time interaction, the students can access to the notes, to the materials of their studies based on the post that the lecturer has given to them. For example, via WhatsApp, Telegram, and student portal. While for synchronous, it is a real-time interaction, which means that during a real-time interaction, a student will open a meeting on an online meeting and the lecturer will give lecture of his class, while the other students will attend to the meeting via online. So this has given an opportunity, a massive opportunity for students to fully empower and emphasize the benefit of online and distance learning, because this will give a real opportunity for them to fully empower and proving themselves that they are capable of learning in online learning as much as other countries has developed and implemented. In my conclusion, as a conclusion, I think that ODL is not a cumberbund, or in a simpler means, it is not a burden. It is, instead of that, it is a great opportunity for the students and the lecturers to explore and to use it efficiently, the using of online learning. And I think that by implementing and introducing ODL to students, especially for our own University Technology Mara, it really gives an opportunity for us to empower the revolution, IR 4.0. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fakrul, for the huge knowledge for us about the benefit or advantages of the online distance learning. Now, we would like to hear opinion or points from the Mr. Farhad, which is the lecturer from the Faculty Information Management about the online distance learning.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, it's been almost 10 weeks. UITM have done online distance learning for this semester. Too many things that I have experienced. In my observation, disadvantage is more than the advantage. I don't want to deny all of the advantage, but I just want to mention about the disadvantage. The internet has become the one of the vital ways to make available resource for research and learning for both teachers and students to share and acquire information. But it's not like that. We are in the same storm, but we are not in the same boat. We are different ship looking to survive. I would like to mention that the Star have published a post on 16 June 2020. The title of the post is Sabah students stay overnight in tree to get better internet connection for online university exam. Vindah Mosibin, an 18 years old University Malaysia Sabah student, post a video on her YouTube channel of what she had to do so she could sit for a few papers online. In other video, which has been viewed over 110,000 times as she share how how she could to spend the night on the of campus due to the movement control order amid COVID-19. Internet access is not something that is readily available. What I want to mention in my point is the government is not strongly ready to apply the online distance learning. And for the next week, UITM would have an examination week. So since the test for assessment is in e-learning, they are possible done with use of proxy. It will be difficult, if not impossible, to control or regulate bad activity like cheating. In my observation, I have done many tests for my students. Almost 30% of their tests is have the same words, same calculation, and have same meaning. So it's not that proof that they have done the cheating. They they could do this to get a highest mark. So my point is the online listening is not a very good ways to us to enhance our education, but we can enhance with another ways. Maybe the government can use the classroom, the physical class to have a class. So that's my point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Farhan, for the opinion uh, from from the lecturer of Faculty Information Management. Such a good point about the disadvantages of the ODL, which he proved the point that the ODL is not good for us in enhance our education
I
system right now.
sorry, but I do not say it's not good, but it's not it's strongly ready for us for Malaysia to
Implement.
get
Okay, sorry for the misunderstood point. So thank you, Mr. Farhan. So next, we would like to hear about the point from the Miss Nadia, which is the what is her opinion about the ODL in Malaysia.
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this forum discussion. Me, as a student representative council of UiTM Kelantan branch, would like to share my point of view. I believe that through this new method of learning, which is through online distance learning, students are getting as much benefit as they want. Through this new way of learning, it has indirectly provided many advantages and at the same time elevate their burden of learning. So my point is students do not have to be physically present in the designated location for learning, such as needing to be in the classroom. They can study anywhere that they want as long as they have an access to online study material. Plus, in this new way, their schedules will be more flexible and not limited to daytime classes only. They can learn at any time and outside of class timetable, as all material can be accessed through online platforms such as UFuture and also iLearn. They also can save time and money as they only need to learn from home. It is especially helpful for students who economically disadvantaged. It saves the time and money that they need to spend on daily meal as well as transportation to commuting to class. So they just need to be prepared at a moderate pace. Based on the articles that I have read from Nishata Abraham Bijesh about pros of ODL. According to Bijesh 2017, this ODL, online distance learning, is much more affordable than being physically in a campus, especially for students who has an advantage. So it really helps them to learn as much as the other student. Besides, this author also has emphasized that this advantage can train students to explore new skill and potential suitable with the country that is leading toward the Industrial Revolution IR 4.0 as discussed earlier by Mr. Muhammad Fakul. So that's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Nadia, for the great sharing. So now, I would like to give the opportunity to our Miss Nadia, which is the student from the Faculty Information Management. That she already had the experience for the ODL, which is the online distance learning. What we can hear about their experience for the 10 week that had been done by the student right now. So, Miss Ayuni, can you share about your opinion about the online distance learning that we had right now, we are being faced right now?
I'm sorry, Ayuni. We cannot hear your voice. Please turn on your speaker. Please turn on again.
First of all, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
First of all, thank you for inviting me to join this forum. From my opinion, I think the online learning is irrelevant because it has disadvantage. Uh, that for me, the disadvantage of online learning is lack of interaction we will get with classmates and our lecturer. For example, in the class, students have a chance to speaking in class presentation. and discussion and give their own opinion clearly. But in online learning, students just can sit at the front of the laptop, type their opinion and wait the answer. Furthermore, it will missing out non-verbal communication. As we know, non-verbal communication is a very important than verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is also known as body language, which refer to, among other things, gesture people make while speaking, eye contact, and the way they stand. In online learning, students just can communicate actual words. Lastly, in order to succeed in online learning, we have to start specific skills. We must have to be self-motivated and possible for all learning and have good time management skills. If you don't have those skills, traditional classes may be a better choice for us. That's all from my point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the sharing from the Miss Ayuni. So we would like to move on to our second session, which is the argument, which the point is better, or which is did we agree or disagree about the that we must implement this ODL in our system in Malaysia, education system in Malaysia right now. So I open for anyone who want to give the opinion about the which the point is better for the agree and disagree about the ODL.
Okay, thank you very much for to Mr. Safwan. I would like to start with my initial arguments. It is related to Ayuni's argument. She stated that during ODL learning, during online and distance learning, uh, we have been facing with the limited verbal communication in real-time communication between the students and the lecturers. I beg to differ. It is because, as far as I'm concerned, we have several softwares or application or platforms that they are preparing video call and providing a speaker for the students to speak and to discuss about their subjects, of and even we are currently doing an online meeting in this forum. So this means that we can actually continue with an online learning, and we can enhance our soft skills and communication skills with other students and lecturers. I please give out your point about this statement.
Thank you for the question. Uh, for me, as what you say, you can use a platform such as Skype, WhatsApp video call, and Google Meet. But for me, when you use that platform, it requires stable internet data to use that platform to discuss. When don't we when don't have a strong internet, the video and audio will be interrupted when in class. As Mr. Fahan said, recently a student from Sabah had to climb a tree to get internet coverage for her studies from the news. So what do you think about that?
Thank you very much for your response. I think that related to your statement, it is currently because of limited coverage of internet. I think that I have the answer in my previous statement that I quote Professor Dr. Azizul Halim Yahya has stated that online and distance learning has given two methods in learning. The first one is asynchronous without a real-time interaction, and synchronous a real-time interaction. As I have as I have made out my point uh, just now, ODL ODL is giving an opportunity even for the students that do not have coverage or a strong internet to join the class, but affect it does not affect them when they try to communicate and they try to study to discuss their subjects when they have a stable connections. It is, yes, I agree that there is a limitation in the implementation of ODL because it is regarding to the limited coverage, but that does not affect as a whole the continuation, the progress of online and distance learning. Thank you very much.
May I have some words? Uh, is my line is okay? I think my
Yes,
line is getting down.
we can hear you.
Okay. People will always come for a solution, but I think it is better to prevent from cure or heal it. What I want to mention about Fakrul's point that I want to say that we are not really ready to enhance this kind of online distance learning because we know that it's not every section, not every state have a great systematic connection for the ODL. Even my computers itself having a kind of lagging because of the internet connection. So if the government can come out with a great solution to enhance the connection of the internet, I think the ODL will not be a really big problem. The biggest problem is from there itself. If they want to keep studying or they want to just board the studies. So that's my point. What about you, Miss Nadia?
Okay,
Uh,
thank Okay, I'm sorry to
Uh,
interrupt, but
just a moment. Before Miss Nadia continue with her argument, for those that do not involve in the argument, please turn off your speaker because it might interrupt our discussion. Thank you very much.
okay, may I continue?
yes, you may.
Okay, my argument is I agree with what Mr. Fakrul has mentioned earlier. It is because me as a student, and right now we need to face this pandemic COVID-19 that hit the Malaysia, but not only Malaysia, also another country. We need to face and ready to this new method of online distance learning. So, based on my reading on the article also, by Manijesh Sadegi, it also stated that the advantage of the online distance learning is outweigh the list of disadvantage, such as a student can review the lectures instantly, so student can study whenever and wherever they want. Then they also can learn at their own pace, so they don't need to. As long as student has a self-discipline and self-motivated, the best benefit of distance education is that you can learn at your own pace. It's a known fact that different people learn in a different ways and at different speeds, like Mr. Farhan has mentioned. But when everyone is being taught together, it is often difficult to have every student on the same page. Some students are too shy to raise their doubt or even to ask any question in class. So, through this online distance learning, it has an advantage over a regular campus program. So that's my point of view.
Turn on your speaker, please.
Sorry.
Uh,
So thank you, Miss Nadia. May I ask Mr. Farhan a little bit about the explanation for their concern about the Mr. Fakrul point, which is what is your opinion or your idea about the Dr. Azizul Halim Yahya point that had been mentioned by the Mr. Fakrul before?
From prevent it from cure or heal. So I just want to mention that the government improve their connections of internet so that then all of the students can have a balanced educations. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Farhan, for the feedback of my question. So now we would like to move on to our second, the last session, for our forum. So is there in, any interaction for the point or for the point of view from the each panelist? All the panelists may raise up your hand to give your argument or to give your own point for the argument statement.
Mrs. Sayuni, do you like to proceed?
No.
Uh, okay. For the beginning, please turn off your speaker. Okay, thank you very much. May I add a little information or my opinion from this forum? I do believe, I do believe that implementation of ODL, online and distance learning, this is the first time. This is the first time that Malaysian students from the primary school, secondary school, and to tertiary education, all of them have been facing online and distance learning for the first time ever. So this is the point that we have to aware that for the first time of implementation, there would be several limitations, weakness in implementing in implementing online and distance learning. It is, however, we cannot back off as a whole just because we have to face several limitations. According to Mr. Farhan, and also that he stated that online and distance learning has several limitations. Yes, I agree. I totally agree. I do not objectify to that statement, but I think that as a whole, this is a real opportunity for Malaysia, for Malaysian students especially, to fully empower themselves, to learning via online learning, and this has given a time for our education, for our Ministry of Education (MOE) to really adapt to this new learning, to this new norm environment, because we have been hit by pandemics COVID-19, and we do not sure enough when this will end, and so I have to state it that implementing online and distance learning is vital for all the students, and it is not a cumbrance, or in a simpler meaning, it is not a burden for them. Yes, we have a limitations, but we can endure it and we can improve in the future. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fakrul, for the good statement that I ever heard. So, is there any panelists that want to give their opinion before we end our forum for this evening? Okay. So, may I conclude or sum up our forum today? Okay, for the conclusion, as we all know, as we all had been here from the all these final five panelists, the professional panelists, they had shared all the best uh sharing for us and give us the new knowledge for us about this ODL. So there are the advantages, disadvantages, which is I also tell that what is this ODL, why this ODL had been implemented. So this ODL had been implemented because of the pandemic COVID-19 break. So within all the statement, all the point that have been shared by the four panelists, so I know that they have the pros and cons for all the issue, especially for the COVID-19, which is the to implement the ODL learning. So I would like to thanks to all the panelists because they had share all the opinion and keys for us tonight. So finally, we have come to the end to our forum for tonight, where we have shared a lot of knowledge which we don't even know before. Online learning is for my opinion. Online learning is built up with these modern technologies nowadays. Besides the good things, there is also bad things. So it's everyone right to choose. For the last word from me, I would like to thank again to all ladies and gentlemen for tonight and also to our panels. A billion thanks I dedicate to everyone for cheering up this forum for tonight. So, see you again. Stay safe, stay at home. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.